Hello, my Florida Garden Escape channel, and welcome back. So here today we are going to be doing a little seedling update. Now, as you guys probably seen in my previous video on our greenhouse updated tour, if you didn't catch it, go ahead and you can check it out on our YouTube channel, and I'll also put a link down below for that description, and you can follow that link to watch that video. But as I did mention in that video, we are going to keep doing our seedlings in our grow tent, which is also our closet, just because it's a more controlled environment. Unlike our greenhouse, we don't really have a controlled environment there yet, but it is a work in progress. But what we're going to be going over today, I'm going to be showing you guys what we have planted in here, some of the things I've learned through this trial and error process of everything, because everything I have growing here currently, I have never grown before. This is going to be my first time growing these types of varieties of plants. So it was a little bit of trickery, error, trial and error with starting it. We're going to kind of go into diving into about all this as we move through this. Before we do get started, guys, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe down below. We love having you guys here. We love showing you guys the things we've learned, so that way you guys could possibly use it in your gardens. So definitely don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, and also don't forget to hit that bell so that way you don't miss out on any of our new videos. But let's go ahead and check into this, and we're going to go ahead and dive in, and let's get started. So as you guys do see here, I did bring one of the thermostats back from out of the greenhouse to in here, so that way I can keep an eye on the temperatures we have in here in our grow tent. And as you can see here, this is going to be one of our newer trays that I recently got here, because I did need the trays. As you can see here, we do have soil in these little in these slots here. As we are not going to be using the pods for this. I did a lot of research, and a lot of the pods come in peat moss. When I first started some of these varieties of plants, of cucumbers, squash, tomato plants, watermelons, cantaloupes, things like that, I first started them in these pods here. And there's either two things that took place here why they didn't germinate or didn't anything pop up. It could have been either A, I put too much water, or it is B, that the plants, the seeds didn't like the peat moss. So what I ended up doing is I ended up buying this tray separately, so that way I could see if it's either I might have watered too much, or maybe just the seedlings just don't like the peat moss. So I'm going to flip you guys back around, and we're going to kind of go into everything. And I'm going to, the pods that I had everything in, they kind of look disgusting. I'm not going to show you guys that. I don't want to gross you out by it, but that's what the pods looked like that I put the seedlings in. But I'm going to go ahead and flip you guys back around, and we're going to kind of go over all the different varieties we currently have growing. Before we do go into all the different types of varieties we have growing in this tray, I do want to go ahead and mention this here. This is a humidifier that adds humidity into this room for us, because normally this room does sit about a 50% or lower, and seedlings like a 50% or higher of humidity to germinate. The higher the humidity, the better they will germinate. So here in this tray right here is our Sugar Baby Rays. This is a type of watermelon. These 3 cherries here, this one, and this one, they are watermelon, but they are different varieties of watermelon. So this is the Sugar Baby watermelon. This one is going to be a petite yellow watermelon. And I'll go through and add at the end of this video, I'll add the pictures of what these should look like when they do fully grow. And then this is our Watermelon Moon and Star Red. This one looks really interesting and appealing. So I'm really excited about growing this one. I'm really excited to see what it'll come out and look like. Hopefully we can get some germinated. Right here we do have our Mammoth Sunflowers. And like I said, at the end of this video, I'll kind of do a quick slideshow of what these plants will look like once they finish growing and produce things. And then this is going to be our squash, and it's a Table Queen acorn squash. This is going to be our rosemary here. I planted some more giant tomatoes because of that late frost. Some ended up dying. So we definitely needed more giant tomato plants. So I do get those seeds started there. Now I do have lavender Thai here. I have a garden sweet cucumber here. Here is another variety of a cucumber, which is our Space Master Bud. And then here is our cantaloupe. That is Delicious 51. And then in this far corner, just to see if I could get asparagus growing, I went ahead and planted some asparagus here, because it does take about 2 years for asparagus to actually produce anything. Now here, in this, pretty much this is a dome, is what this is. I wanted to play around and see if it was something I might have done with too much watering, or if it was just the peat moss and the soil blocks. I mean, not the soil blocks, but the soil pods. So I decided to go ahead and make little pods to do a starter with. And this one is either cantaloupe or Boston pickling, and this one is either Boston pickling or cantaloupe. I looked at the seeds. I'm not sure exactly which are which, because the seeds do look alike. This one I know is the Mammoth Sunflower, and this is the Crimson Sweet watermelon. So far we do have some things brewing here that's popped off that we're definitely going to be getting transplanted today. And we're going to be doing that as well in this video. But that's currently what everything is. As you guys seen probably on our Facebook group pages or anything like that, our solar sunflowers have gotten massive. So we're hoping we'll get some great massive flowers out of the Mammoth Sunflowers as well. The Mammoth Sunflowers, from my understanding, they do get super tall, and they look super beautiful, and they'll shoot tons of pods out, and pollinators love the sunflowers. And one thing with the sunflowers is that if you do the germination right and you self-pollinate those seeds in those flowers, you can put those seeds back onto the ground, and those sunflowers will come back up next season, which was pretty interesting to know. Even though they only grow during certain times of seasons, they will come back when that season does come back around. So that was really great to know. But this is all currently what we have growing in here. I do need to add some more water into our humidifier here, because it does look low, so I'll need to take care of that. Everything set up for our transplant of these seedlings. I'm going to go ahead and show you what these plants should look like once they're fully grown. So you guys enjoy that, and I'll be right back. guys, I'm back, got everything set up. So tell me, guys, leave down in the comments what you think of some of the seedlings we got growing here. Do any of them strike you very interesting? Is there anything you guys want to know more about some of these varieties? We can definitely let you know, because I've done a lot of research on a lot of these varieties, so I can definitely and probably answer a lot of your guys' questions. So just leave me a comment down below if you have questions about any of them. But we're going to go ahead and get these guys transplanted. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So let's dig in. So what we're going to do first is we're going to do the single ones first, since those will be the easier ones to deal with, because this block here I'll have to kind of maneuver around to separate each one of those. So we're going to go ahead and take this one. Now, with this being on paper, I am going to leave the paper in there with the pod, because the paper is considered a compost material, so it'll help feed that dirt some more. So as you guys can see here, I already do have my cup here, and I'll bring it up here. So as you can see, it's not fully full all the way to the top. I have an indent here at the bottom for this seedling. So we're going to go ahead and put this into the seedling. I'm just going to push this down some more here. And then we are going to lift this seedling up here. And good news with this newspaper having lots of water into it, it'll give more water into this soil. So it's going to be very happy with all this taking place. Let's get this here. Alright. Now I just need to straighten her up some. Alright, now we gotta add the soil. Alright, I'm just gonna maneuver it around here some. Kind of push down. I'm going to add a little bit more. Now, normally when you guys go to transplant, you'll want to water it every day for the first 5 days so it gets adjusted to the soil. Thankfully, we won't have to do too much watering because that newspaper is compacted with water. So we won't have to do too much give it too much water today. But that is what it's going to look like. Now let's go ahead and get the others going. Alright, so we got those two transplanted. So now we're going to work on this guy. Now, as you guys see here, I have 3 cups already set up here with soil in them. Now, with some of these, I'm just going to be placing the plant down in here into the soil, because they won't be able to stay all in one, as I'll have to use some of this soil in one of these cups. So with this one, we are going to do it a little differently. So I'm going to just squeeze it here. And we are just going to take that part. And this is where we're going to really separate the dirt and that. And kind of gently, I'm just going to pull tugly. I'm just slightly shaking it all up here. Kind of separating them some. We're catching them early on, so they're not too tangled up. But that is what our seedling is going to look like, guys. Let's get him put in. We're just going to take him here. And I'm not going to take that seed off. I'm just going to push all this down in here, so that way those can grow in here. And now they are all separated. So I'm going to pluck this one in here. And we are gonna, I don't have my tripod with me, so you guys kind of gotta work with me. And we're gonna push this in here just like this. And he is transplanted. And this one, we're going to have to add some more soil into these guys, so that way they're fully up to the brim here. Alright, there's that. Alright, and now this one, I'm going to bring him over here. And all this right here, we are going to take as well. We're going to set him to the side over here. And I'm going to place all this in here with him, so that way he's not being too moved around here. Alright, now let's go ahead and get our soil added. Alright, so now we have either our cantaloupe planted or our cucumbers planted here and transplanted now into their solo cups. And then we also got the mammoth sunflower transplanted. So what we're going to go ahead and do now, we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of watering to them, so that way we can get all those air pockets out of the soil. And then this will be it. And you can see I'm not doing heavy watering, I'm just doing a few drips here. I'm not going to do it heavenly, as I just want to get all the air bubbles out of that soil. Like I said, just a little bit. Just want to get the air bubbles out of that soil. I did pack it down good and tight, so hopefully there shouldn't be too many air bubbles. So that's how we transplant these seedlings, and we got all the air pockets out of the cups and out of the soil, so it should grow fine. We're going to leave these guys here for the next couple of days. I don't want to stress them out too much. From here, they will go out to the greenhouse and stay there for a little bit until their roots start to show at the bottom of their cups. Now, once their roots start to show at the bottom of the cups, then we'll transplant them. During this time, we are going to game plan to see exactly where we're going to put these and how we're going to have these grow, because everything we are going to grow is going to be grown vertically. So we're going to kind of game plan and see how about we're going to need to do this with these variety of plants. Now we're going to go ahead and fill up this humidifier. I'm going to show you guys how we do this, so let's get started. Alright, so for the dehumidifier, pretty much what I do is I take this capsule off even during the time it is running. And I'll take my sprayer that I was using to water my plants, and if I'm watering or if it just needs water, I'll go ahead and add the water in it from it, and I'll just dump the water in there just like that. Now it will fill it up a good bit of ways. Sometimes I have to do this a couple of times, especially if it's totally bone dry, but I try to keep it filled up. But that's how I go about refilling my humidifier. Now I'm going to go ahead and get this filled up, and I'm going to go let you guys go. I really thank you guys for joining me. It's been a trial and error through gardening, but we have been getting it done, and we have a lot coming out. We still have tons germinating. I'm really stoked about it. Probably in a week's time actually a week or so from today, we'll do another updated tour, because we should have seedlings already germinated by then. So we'll do another tour, show you guys what's already germinated, what we're still waiting for, what could be possibly taking it so long, go over the germination days and things like that. But until next time, guys, you guys keep growing, keep being amazing, and keep being real. Check y'all out next time. Deuces!